And I'll call meeting 1495 to order. At this time, I'd like to welcome the online viewers and remind the public that the gallery is always open for your attendance. In front of you is the agenda for meeting 1495. Are there any additions to the agenda? Hearing none, can I get a mover?
I got a couple additions to finance.
Okay, note it. All right, can I get a mover?
So moved.
Moved by Deputy Mayor Jones, seconded by Councillor Fitzgerald. Call for question. Hearing none. All those in favor? Motion carried. Thank you. Minutes for regular meeting number 1494, held July 22nd. Minutes of meeting 1494 are presented. Are there any errors or omissions? Hearing none. Can I get a mover? Moved by Councillor Freak, seconded by Councillor Hancock. Call for question. Hearing none. All those in favor? Motion carried. Thank you. Minutes for special meeting held on August 4th are presented. Are there any errors or omissions? Hearing none. Can I get a mover?
So moved.
Moved by Councillor Freak, seconded by Councillor Hancock. Call for question. Hearing none. All those in favor? Motion carried. Thank you. Business arising from the minutes. Is there any business arising from the minutes? Hearing none, we shall move on. Moving on to new business. Any new business tonight? Quiet bunch. All right, that's the best part about the round table at the end. If someone forgets something, we can add it there. All right, I don't see correspondence, Lori, so that's okay. Moving on to reports. Councillor Freak, please. Finance.
Are you stepping out for number one?
If you want to do that one first, yeah.
Do you want me? Yeah, sure. I'll do number one first.
All right, I'm going to step out for number one for conflict.
Thank you.
Item number one, BNS Trucking in the amount of $208,100.43, a progress payment for Swartz's Park. I recommend payment.
All right, thank you. Moved by Councillor Freak, seconded by
So moved.
Councillor Fitzgerald. Call for question. Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Thank you.
Okay. I'm going to add number 7, 8, and 9 for a couple of invoices here. Item number 2, banners for Remembrance Day, $875. These are going to be placed near the Legion. This price includes installation, and the banners can be reused annually, so I recommend approval. Item number 3, CAMA conference attendance, $2,500. This is the 52nd annual conference and AGM. It's going to be held in Whistler, BC, May the 25th to May the 27th. Money in the 2025 budget to cover this. We recommended approval. Item number 4, FJ Wadden. $1,126.25 being charged business tax, does not have a business in Deer Lake, only supplementing docking space at 83 Whites Road. This one right now is not approved. Item number 5, Overhead Door Limited, $9,898. Materials for the swimming pool, change rooms, and upgrades. Recommend payment. Item number 6, William Perry Limited for $41,072.25. Swartz Park splash pad work. Recommended payment. Sorry. Item number 7, Bennett Avenue paving the parking lot, $561,265.55. We need to review the deficiencies that were done on these jobs, so we recommend it. We recommend the payment less the deficiencies, Public Works Superintendent to determine the amount of the deficiencies.
Chair, before you move on, just to clarify on that, the agreement with the contractor is we'll hold back 10% of the project.
Okay.
They feel that'll be sufficient to take care of the deficiencies that are involved. So
They feel it's sufficient, or our superintendent feels it's
our
sufficient?
superintendent and the contractor both agree that 10%
Okay.
is sufficient. Therefore, we'd like to process 561 and hold back 10%.
Okay. So I'll change that, number 7. for the amount of $561,265 and hold back the 10%. Item number 8, Timberstone Paving Limited, $12,132.50. This is a paved walkway for the splash pad. Recommended payment. Item number 9, Bonds Auto Body Limited for $17,250. Repair work completed on fleet vehicles. Recommended payment. Maybe we could note the unit numbers, Lori, on that.
The orange sheet.
Just call them shed pickups, so I'm not sure what
It's 3 pickups and with no
Okay.
unit number.
Okay. Item number 10, Western Glass for $7,651 and $10,497. Materials for the swimming pool change room upgrades. We recommend payment. This is a budgeted item. Item number 11, Canada Community Building Fund, formerly known as our gas tax. The committee recommends the following projects for 2025. This would be Farm Road and Main Street. We're going to do a separate motion for that one. Correct. So I'm going to add number 12, which is going to be an invoice to Corain Supply for the amount of $11,546. Item number 13 for Meridian Engineering for lift station upgrades for Whites Road for $6,263.21. And number 14, Meridian for Garden Road infrastructure upgrades, Phase 2, $6,544.96. So I make a motion to accept the report. Items number 2 through 14, excluding 11, and number 1.
All right, thank you. Moved by Councillor Freak, seconded by Councillor Hancock. Call for question.
I got one question, Mr. Mayor. On number 7, when I was over and looked at their road and I asked a couple of opinions independently, I guess they told me it was not a good job. It's really, I guess shitty is the word for it, in my opinion. So I was just wondering, can we revisit, or instead of, it may be more than 10%. Like, I'm just afraid that 10% won't cover the deficiencies. Because there's a lot of dips, and for a big $100,000 job, we're gonna have a patchwork. I don't think, I'm not happy with patchwork for $350,000. I think it should be more than just a deficiency list. To me personally, once it's done, it should be recoded like a proper road should be done. That's my issue with it. Like, I seen it there, and I seen it in the rain, and the dips there, and it's water, you gotta come uphill in order to get into one of the holes, and, I think it's just the only person speaking. I'm not a contractor, I'm not an asphalt layer, but it don't look good to me, so I'm just wondering, can we agreement put more than 10% so we can get the job done right?
So what we're looking at there as well is trying to determine, so the $561,265.55 is for all the paving that was done last summer. So unfortunately, we don't have an invoice that breaks down just Bennett Avenue. So, I mean, if it's council's wishes, we can certainly take that route and go back and look at, what was Bennett Avenue's total cost and determine what would be the amount to fix the deficiencies there.
We have units for that, don't we?
Pardon?
We have units in our contract for that. Am I
We do,
correct?
yes, yeah, there would have been units involved.
I think what you're saying, Jason, is that 10% of the entire project might be 20% of Bennett's Avenue or something, whatever, depending on the cost. If it's
So, I mean,
250, then
10% of what we got now would be $56,126. That's of the entire project.
Deputy Jones, are you saying that you feel the whole
I
road,
feel
or
it
is
is-
just sections of the road?
Well, it's many sections of the road, and I actually talked to the superintendent, and he wasn't pleased with the work either. And I'm just afraid that we're going, it had to be a couple $100,000, $250 for sure. So you take 50% of that, it's 20, or 10% of that, $25,000, or $50,000 of the full amount. Is that gonna be enough to do it? And we're gonna cut it up, and we're gonna patch it up for $250,000. I'm just not happy with it. That's only me personally.
I just don't know the answer.
Well,
Sorry.
I know there's one.
No, I don't know
I
the
never,
answer
I never
Just
seen
one
it.
section needs some definite attention. I don't know about getting a full resurface out of it. I don't think that's gonna ever happen, but But I assume that we've measured these areas of deficiencies and we've put it to the units to know exactly how much what we're looking at here before we go to negotiate. I assume I assume you've been discussing with Marine and stuff to do the negotiation on it, but I'm not too sure, so.
Yeah, and I can also refer to Dave. I know you've been in contact with Marine about this deficiencies in general, and trying to come up with a more of a concrete number that would satisfy our needs to make sure that we're getting really what we paid for. So, Dave, I don't know if you have any more to add to that.
I went through it with the superintendent on Marine's page. He looked at the areas, not the whole course, showing there are some bits here and there, so I'm gonna cut it all off. They won't repave the whole thing, it's not all that. So if you're looking at, the worst section over again, and,
Is that like close to Nicholsville Road?
yes.
So is the intent to mill out the half of the road? Is that their intention, or are they planning on doing the cut and patch like Councillor Jones just brought up? Because
Milling every section.
entire length width?
Cut it out.
Okay, as long as it's a mill of the entire lane width, it should be fine at the end of the day. Different color, but for the
Okay,
most part,
some
that's
very valid
typically-
points. What's your wishes? Councillor Fitzgerald, what would be your recommendation, seeing how this is in your wheelhouse more than anybody's?
Well, if the 10% is what you're considering sufficient to hold back, and that's the milling of the areas that are deficient, and we've done a check on our quantity to know exactly that's gonna cover it, then I'm fine with the recommendation. However, if we're really unsure of what we're cutting out, and there's a chance of the contractor coming back and saying, no, I'm not doing no more, this should have been an agreement before I guess brought to this part here. So 10% is your typical holdback. I understand that part, but just to the point that I think we need to know those deficiencies. There's got to be a number put on those deficiencies. So Councillor Jones's points are well taken. If in the case if we've done our homework and then we've done these quantities, then 10% is going to be fine. Then
Do you know what you could do?
I'm
Just
fine.
stick with what the number 7 says. It just basically says recommend payment less deficiencies, Public Works Superintendent to determine amount of deficiencies. If you just stick with what's here
Yeah,
and not
I
do the
agree with
10%,
you.
you'll be fine.
yeah, I agree, with Councillor.
Yeah, and the onus of what was originally there is just we wanted council's blessing that we'll just pick a round number. If the deficiency comes back at $80,000, well then it's 561 minus the
Yes,
$80,000.
yes,
So
yes.
without having that number, if council would give us a blessing, we would make sure, and we disclose this to council, that whatever the deficiencies come in as costs, well then that's what we would produce from the total payment.
Yeah.
So we've known this for a couple weeks now, so at what point is he gonna hopefully be able to get there to know the deficiencies so that we can make payment to the supplier as well?
This is the problem, is that they're probably preparing to pave Main Dam Road, I'm gonna say within this 10-week or 10-day cycle that they're here now.
Right.
So their paving crew will be in town within the next 10 days. So they haven't really had anyone here to assess any of the pavement problems.
Okay.
Because they've been on other projects. So
All right.
we've reached out weekly asking, okay, do you know
Okay.
what the number is? Because you can't just come and patch it and us not know what it's
Yeah.
gonna cost, right?
Okay.
So that's why when we did the finance report last week, we said that, is council comfortable saying we'll hold the payment, but once we know the deficiency costs, we'll clarify to council, this is what we'd like to give blessing and not have to wait until the next
Yes.
scheduled meeting to release the payment.
Okay. I'm okay with it. Yeah.
So it may be more than 10%. So we're not gonna say 10%, whatever. it
No, if you
costs.
stick to what's originally on the agenda, it says it's this payment minus whatever the deficiencies come in at.
So, if Dave meets with superintendent, they measure the areas, they do a quantity comparison, unit pricing, they determine it's 71, well, it's 71.
Yeah, because in our minutes, it says 10%, so I just think there's gonna be more than 10%.
It don't even say that, actually. Oh, in the minutes it will,
Yes,
but,
in
sorry,
the
in the
minutes, not in
report,
this
yeah,
here.
yeah.
All right, well, we'll keep the wording as is.
it's
So
just
item number 7,
clarification, yeah.
recommend payments less the deficiencies and Public Works Superintendent to determine the amount of the deficiencies.
I'm okay with that. It might turn out to be 41,000, maybe less than 10%. Just saying. You
Okay.
don't know.
All right,
Cool.
that settles
Well, thank
council's
you.
wishes. Listen, it's all very important. Obviously, this contractor's been doing good work throughout, and sometimes you'll have deficiencies, and that's what contracts are set upon, so good notes. Town manager or superintendent, or director to follow up tomorrow with the contractor at hand, and we can get a resolve for this.
Will we ensure our staff is on site when they come back to do that, once it goes back
I hope
down?
so.
Yeah, it's up to our
I'm
standards?
sure he will,
Definitely.
Okay.
All right, any further questions, comments, concerns? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Thank you. Councillor Freak, please.
Okay, item number 11, Canada Community Building Fund, formerly known as our gas tax. The committee recommends the following project, Main Street and Farm Road. I think it's my understanding that Main Street will be from the intersection of Canal to maybe in front of Coleman's Furniture. And then the Farm Road location will be?
We're looking at, it's going to be the upper section, I'm going to say, Dave. I know Public Works are currently at a site there now. We actually had to do a sewer connection. So originally, and again, I'll refer this to Dave, we were looking at from Lawton's until the intersection with a
Good.
Clinic Drive.
Okay.
Finished off a couple years ago at Chapel Hill.
Right.
So we finish out there from there up over,
The full
Yeah.
road.
not quite forward.
Are we going to take,
Well patch and like that was done recently, but that would be part of another contract, possibly next year, 'cause that's gonna settle over winter. So we just want a quick patch process, get by for winter, and then it's got to be repaid.
because there's a couple of really bad manholes on Farm Road, just before you get into Toomey Place. So will we be fixing those? Okay, that will be fixed in.
Yeah, and just on that note again, we were under understanding we weren't going to get this major sewer job done this year. So we had
Okay.
only planned to go, really, Dave, probably is a little past Toomey Place with this
Okay.
pavement. But now with this project being done, it's not included in the gas tax, but we will look to put one course of asphalt across.
Okay.
I mean, it's a bus route and it's a major route through school.
Absolutely.
So we will want to get some asphalt on it, but to Dave's point, we wouldn't go ahead with the full job because if it settles, then we're left with bad pavement.
Okay, so recommend those two projects for our 2025 gas tax.
All right, thank you. Moved by Councillor Freak, seconded by Councillor Hancock. Call for question. Hearing none. All those in favor? Motion carried. Thank you. Councillor Freak, please.
So we're going to get to accounts payable here now. We got items number 1 through 31 for the amount of $38,353.54 for your information.
All right, thank you. Moved by Councillor Freak, seconded by Deputy Mayor Jones. Call for question. Hearing none. All those in favor? Motion carried. Thank you. That concludes your reports, Councillor Freak. Moving on to Planning Community Development. Deputy Mayor Jones, please.
Okay, our Planning, Community Development, and Corporate Service meeting was held on August the 15th. Myself, Councilor Fitzgerald, MEO Lisa Olford, Director, Public Works Dave Thomas, and Administrative Assistant Krista Jones was present. The items are presented in front of you. Just for one note, the last one is 43 is supposed to be for the John Beer separate motion instead of 41. So we'll do that one separate. So items number 1 to 30 are permits issued, repairs, etc. Number 31 for new business application, 2B Welland Drive, a used car dealer and repair shop. We recommend approval. This is in our commercial and proper zoning area. Number 32, 13 Ball Street for nightly rental. Recommend approval after advertised if there are no responses for that area. Number 33 is the change of use applications, 9 North Main Street. Modified to create office space in small retail location. Approved pending requirements of service and LMIT.
Before you get too far down through, we'll
Yeah.
need to have Councillor Hancock step out for number 34.
Okay, I'll do these separate ones. I'll do 34 after also. Okay, and probably number 35.
35 as well, yep.
Okay, number 36 for Nutella Frontier, Grace Avenue. Just updated drawings for the subdivision. FYI is under review to ensure our regulations are met. Number 37 for land application for 164139 Forest Drive, seeking permission to construct a cabin in the Humber Canal area in Johnson's Pond. Recommend approval. Number 34, TCH St. Jude's, application for floating dock and wharf, recommend approval. Number 39 for 29 George Aaron Drive, seeking permission for a residential sawmill, recommend approval. And please, we're going to take a note that it's for private use only. Number 40 for 9 St. George's Lane, they would like us to revisit the idea of him having an apartment in his garage which faces Middle Road. We did review it again, and after consultation, we recommend that we deny it. It does not meet the current regulations, and regulations to be reviewed in 2026 for any changes. Number 41 for 28 Hancock Road, we'll like permission to and extend height extension to our fence to allow 8 feet to prevent dogs from jumping over it. We reviewed this also, and after consultation, we recommend this one to be denied. It does not meet our regulations. Number 42 for Grace Avenue, Jack's Place, Joel's Crescent, Nickel Drive. The developer would like to turn over the subdivision to the town. We recommend to approve upon completion of all items agreed. So I move we accept this report, excluding items number 34, 35, and 43.
All right, thank you. Moved by Deputy Mayor Jones, seconded by
So moved.
Councillor Fitzgerald. Call for question. Hearing none. All those in favor? Motion carried. Thank you.
Okay, I'll do number 34 and 35 now. Okay, thank you. Okay, for number 34, I guess two more for the same, for 111 to 125 George Aaron Drive. Number 34 is proposed, we said residential subdivision. This is for FYI right now. We're under review to ensure all regulations are met for our subdivision requirements. And number 35 for 111 to 125 George Aaron Drive. Response required by August 22nd to develop a protected highway zone, and we recommend approval for this. So I move that we accept items number 34 and number 5 of this report.
All right, thank you. Moved by Deputy Mayor Jones, seconded by
Second.
Councillor Fitzgerald. Call for question. Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank
Motion
you.
carried. Thank you.
Okay, the last item on this report number would be number 43 for our John Baird, our planning person, for 311 Route 430. Amendments for rezoning for the Avon West needs to be a motion to give public notice. So the motion will be a motion to approve amendment number 7 to the Town of Deer Lake Municipal Plan and amendment number 8 to the development regulations to rezone property located on Route 430 from rural to public use. I move that we accept this motion.
All right, thank you. Moved by Deputy Mayor Jones,
Second.
seconded by Councillor Fitzgerald. Call for question. Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
And I got
Thank
one more
you.
separate motion, Mr. Mayor.
Mhm.
So it says 42 in your report, it will be 43, yeah. It's for the Deer Lake Regional Airport Road, amendment to add to permitted uses under the air zoning to allow for growth at the airport. So the motion will read, motion to approve the following as permanent use to the air zone in Town of Deer Lake Development Regulations, commercial accommodations, service station, outdoor market, take-in food service, office space, and manufacturing. I move that we accept this motion of this report.
All right, thank you. Moved by Deputy Mayor Jones, seconded by
So moved.
Councillor Fitzgerald. Call for question. Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Thank you.
Back to you, Deputy Mayor Jones, for Public Works, please.
Okay, so our Public Works meeting was out on August 15th. Myself, Attendant Councilor Fitzgerald, Town Manager Jason Young, and Director of Public Works Dave Thomas. Items are presented in front of you. Number 1, just a work update for an FYI, sewer hookups, repair sewer on Farm Road, repairs sign and working at splash pad and line painting. And number 2, crosswalk at Bennett Avenue, just an FYI. Put a new crosswalk near splash pad, and in the new budget, have the flashing crosswalk sign installed for more visibility and more safety. Number 3, for the industrial park road realignment, just an FYI, the job is completed, and our management team is very pleased with the work that has been done there. Number 4, capital works applications. We need to have applicants put in for next year applications. We recommend having same ones as last year and adding our booster stations. And number 5, booster station upgrade. FYI, we have ADC Engineering coming to look at our booster station, see what our issue is with them to boost pressures and having them replaced with capital funding also.
Can we have a separate motion for the capital works
That's what I was
project?
gonna ask.
For number 4?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Yeah, marvelous.
All right.
Okay, so I move that we accept this report, Public Works, August 15th, items 1 to 5, excluding number 4.
All right, thank you. Moved by Deputy Mayor Jones,
I'm tired of agreeing with him. I second it though.
second by, we did get that in recording. Seconded by Councillor Fitzgerald. Call for question. Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried, thank you.
So that's 4 times tonight, is that a record?
I
there
do
for
believe
FEMA?
that's a record.
I told you, give me training after a while. Okay, so number 4, the Public Works report, need applications put in for next year. We recommend having same ones last year and adding booster stations. I move that we accept number 4 of this report.
All right, thank you. Moved by Deputy Mayor Jones, seconded by
Second.
Councillor Freak. Call for question. Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Thank you.
All right, that concludes Public Works. Moving on to Recreation. Councillor Fitzgerald, please.
Hi, so Department of Arts, Recreation and Culture met on August 12th. In attendance was Councillor Amanda Freak, Town Manager Jason Young, Director of Recreation Community Services Glenn Wiseman, and myself. 2 items on our list, both are just for FYI. Number 1, the splash pad update. Well, we all know the new splash pad is now open and being enjoyed by children in the community. We understand there have been some questions about how the splash pad operates and the water usage in the town of Deer Lake, especially during our water conservation times, but we'd like to reassure residents that the splash pad functions similar to a swimming pool. It includes an underground tank that recycles the water being used, with only a minimal amount of new water entering the system. The water is splashed onto the pad while children play and is collected and recycled. Additionally, the Recreation Director is in the process of acquiring online access to the splash pad systems from Vortex, the supplier. This access will allow them to directly log into the system. From River Glens too. Item number 2, the Arena Pro Shop RFP. So the Recreation Committee did meet to discuss a proposal operating a pro shop in the arena this upcoming, I guess, hockey figure skating season. We've tasked the Recreation Director to reach out to the proponents to gather some more questions so the committee can make a more informed decision. The plan is to decide before the winter season starts to give an approval to either one of the proponents. I ask that you accept the minutes of August 12th. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Moved by Councillor Fitzgerald, seconded by
So moved.
Councillor Freak. Call for question. Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried, thank you. And that concludes reports. Before we end tonight's meeting, we'll go through the regular process, and I would recommend to whomever sits in this chair in the next council that they continue on with this roundtable at the end. Ultimately, it'll be whoever sits in this chair's decision, but it allows council to highlight things that may have been forgotten during the agenda or new business, and also allows us to talk about the not so fun stuff. So, Councillor Hancock, the floor is yours, sir.
Very quickly, this is the second last meeting of this council, so I guess for me just, a couple things, I guess, and maybe I could wait till the last one, but it's certainly been a pleasure to serve with the folks around the table, and I'll certainly remain engaged. when I'm off council, but I do encourage anyone who's interested. September 4th is nomination day. That's everything for me.
All right, thank you, and thank you for your service as always. You've been a tremendous hand to this town, this table, and again, thank you. Your service has been commendable. Councillor Freak, please.
Yeah, September the 4th. Get your name on the ballots. If you got, everybody's got something to add, so I encourage you to stop in to see Lori and ask any questions. I'd also love to do a shout out to our Air Canada staff here in Deer Lake. I know that there's been multiple folks who have had trouble getting out and have made comments on the on a site that's used like the air passenger rights and things, but they've all spoken very highly of our Deer Lake residents trying to mitigate what's currently going on. So thanks to those crew that there's heartfelt feelings and you feel good when you're coming into Deer Lake or you're trying to leave. So thank you to the staff up there. That's it for me.
All right, thank you, Councillor Freak. Moving on, Councillor Fitzgerald.
I just want to give a shout out to all the first responders and all the fires that are down out east. And
And our very own Michael.
and our very own Michael taking out our pumper truck there this week to give assistance. I know our fire chief and his whole committee and the whole team has been extremely worried about what's happening out east. But yeah, hats off to all those people putting their lives out for everyone else. And I know it's not directly to this town, but I think we're lucky that we have so many people helping out. That's all, Mayor. Thanks.
All right, thank you. Great notes.
Come back. Let's say ditto. We've met multiple times, this table have, with our local fire chief, and he's worked tirelessly around like those calls last week, you know, keeping his crews happy, keeping our town safe, and offering up, you know, his services last week. So thanks to our chief as well for
Yeah.
kind of being proactive on all that.
Definitely. Deputy Mayor Jones.
I guess I can probably concur everybody's thoughts and feelings on the fire at east, and you know, to our residents of town Deer Lake, we have to have them several meetings a week on fire prevention and how we can help out and our town emergency plan. So just to let you know that you know, we're not just sitting back and waiting and hoping. We are planning case worst. So anyway, our thoughts and prayers for the guy, our gang, and our counterparts out east.
All right.
Yeah, we send the pamphlet in the mail with things to prepare for, and on the back of it is a section that you can fill out who's in your home, where the home is, and if anybody needs any assistance or anything in the case of emergency. So please fill it out and bring it back to the town office. Thank you.
All right, thank you. You'll note that I thanked Councillor Hancock for his service. I'm not convinced everybody else isn't going to run, maybe, possibly. Never say never. I can't. We'll see in the last hour, but if not, again, thank you. You've put 12 years in, and that's a lot of time dedication where I've watched both your children grow up in the chamber and in the town hall. So, town manager, Young, please.
Yeah, and just to hone in a bit more on the fire aspect, I mean, our thoughts and prayers go out to everyone out east. But as everyone mentioned, we did meet with our fire chief a couple of times. We've had our enforcement officer doing some patrols in the evening. I know she just stepped out, but I'd like to thank her. That, I mean, we kind of all leaned in on the operations side just to see what we could do during that very tumultuous time. I think, Mayor, we spoke every night trying to make sure that things were under control. That mail out, it did have a lot of fire safety information, but the questionnaire, a lot of it was to do with not only just in the event of a fire, but as the Deputy Mayor and Councillor Freak brought up, just in the event of emergency, to have that information, but also updated contact information. Because we have gone out looking for quotes. We want to beef up our notification system. We know we've got social media, we got a website, we got an app, but we're finding there's still a significant portion of the population we're not getting to. So we're actually today met with a couple of companies looking to find a Deer Lake sized option that kind of gets the word out to everybody so that they become aware. We know we appreciate residents. There has been a water ban that we've put on because of these dry, times for people to be kind of cautious with their sprinklers. And I know there's been some challenges in some of the higher elevations of town with water pressure. So we did bring it up in Public Works, and we did actually have an engineer in town on Friday looking at our 2 booster stations. So it is something that we're going to look at for Capital Works, but we also want to find out in the interim, is there something we can be doing? Because just, for myself and Lori and Dave on the operational side, we don't want to have every summer to have to do a water ban because our infrastructure can't seem to handle the demand. So the onus is for us to try to figure out, what we can do to do that. So that's all from me, Mayor.
All right, thank you. It's notable for council to put a shout out to our captain of the fire department. I grew up with the gentleman, and when the call went out, I was pretty sure I could guess who the name coming forward would be. Commendable service as always from the fire department. A lot of times public aren't aware of the work that goes on behind the scenes, so I just want to say thanks to obviously the fire chief, council, management, and staff for keeping up to speed on the emergency plan. To echo Premier Hogan's words, it's not often when in Newfoundland and Labrador people are praying and hoping for colder and damp weather, so I'd like to see that continue so we can all get out of these dangerous times that are generally seeming to be unprecedented. But I just want to say hats off again for everyone to try to stay ahead of what is the potential of disastrous moments within minutes, as we stated many times. There's another one. This possibly could be my last meeting. I'm not sure as of right yet, but it's starting to look that way. Something I'll make a public statement on in the near, not too distant future. But before I do, there's been a topic of discussion that's come to the forefront through community. It's not just this community, and I want to touch on it. So tonight I wanted to talk about an issue that stretches beyond town limits, yet affects our community, and it's being felt here and touches every community in this province and country. And it's due to the rise in crime and the trend and notable quantitative increase over the past decade. The truth is, from speaking with multiple officers throughout this province and the country, our judicial system is broken. Police arrests, we support enforcement, yet too often those who bring drugs and violence into our communities are released before the ink dries on the paper. That's not my quote, that's theirs. These are the frustrations from enforcement and the public, and the words I have just spoke come from those who work within the national and provincial enforcement agencies. Offenders are back in their neighborhoods, reoffending, and the cycle continues. This is frustrating not just for us, but for the officers on the ground and the families affected, our neighbors, families, and friends. The system as it stands is not holding offenders accountable. That must change. We need reform. We need our provincial and federal leaders to step up to strengthen the justice system and to ensure that repeat offenders are no longer treated like first-time mistakes. Until then, I personally will promise we will not give up. I will keep pushing, keep working with law enforcement, and keep demanding better, because my hometown and all others deserve better. This might be my last council meeting as I suggested, but it won't be my last effort to improve the way we go forward as a collective. To the residents who have been the loudest, I hear you. To the residents I know are living next to it and through it in our community and beyond, I see you. And I can assure each of you this: I'm here to listen to anyone who wishes to pick up the phone to call me here at the office or personally. I would also like to thank the residents who have taken the time to meet with me since the current discussion has happened, to discuss what we can do as a community to work together to make our community safer and a place we can all feel free to call home, as we always could in the past. It takes courage, and to speak out publicly for that, I want to say thank you, and I commend each and every one of you. In closing, I'm just going to say this. I've heard council members, I've seen it around the province, trying to encourage people to sit at these tables. The job isn't easy. I would recommend that you come in, speak with the clerk, management, councillor, members of the past, present, see what you're signing up for, but know this, when you do sign up, there's a lot of good that can be done. And even though sometimes social media doesn't depict that, trust me, this is the grassroots of what makes our province, is right here in our home community. So I can't encourage everyone enough. It's never good when you see an acclaimed council, not that you won't have equal representation, but then they need a mandate, and that only comes from voting people in our democratic process that so many have sacrificed to allow us to have that right. In closing, that is it for me. Town clerk, correct me if I'm right or wrong. This next meeting is scheduled for Monday, September 15th. If there is no further business, can I get a mover to adjourn this meeting, please?
I'm not adjourning yet. Thank you, Mayor Mike, for your 8 years of service. I know we've heard a few things about crime in our community, and I've said it before and I'll say it again. Anybody who sits around this table, no one person makes decisions for this town. This is not a political party. This is a group of 7 people who have been voted in by our community to fight for you. And I will take just as much blame for not being open and transparent on the things that we've done with working with the RCMP, working with crime prevention, or being transparent when we've really fought for things. We've set multiple times with the RCMP on ways that we can improve our community. I, unfortunately, am unable to go out and arrest somebody. That's not my role. But it is bringing the community together to bring programs like the crime prevention, which we've seen that's no longer operating here. We had an uptake in a community group that wanted to help us a little bit with the Crime Stoppers. And I would definitely encourage anybody in this town that sees crime to report crime. You can report it through Crime Stoppers anonymously. You can get paid for a lead, whether that's, somebody starting a fire, during a fire ban, that you don't call 911 and call the fire department out. We call, Crime Stoppers and report those things, have effective communication. If you have video footage at your home, you can give this to the RCMP. I know Stephenville has had some great success with everybody coming on board with certain streets, certain areas doing that. You can't always disclose what you're working on, unfortunately, if you're trying to solve a problem either. But you've done an incredible job. We've had 8 years working together as a team. I definitely know your heart is 100% for this community. We haven't always seen eye to eye like a bad brother and sister, but it's always been, for the betterment of the community. So thank you for those words. Thank you for your time of service, and I wish you well in what your little kid heart has always wanted.
I appreciate that, and obviously I'm not going to let anybody else adjourn this meeting. We're going to stick with our trend of Councillor Freak, but there was a resident. He's very passionate. He makes lots of sense. His frustrations have come through in different ways. In closing, the last time we spoke, I just let him know that I don't have all the answers, and he reminded me, none of us will, but together we may. So to that resident, I want to say thank you. It is now 8:21, and I'll call this meeting adjourned. Moved by Councillor Freak. Thank you.